All right, so a pretty disappointing find. Anytime you find the lower unit locked up, it can definitely not fun. All right, so we're gonna go through this right here. You hear it hitting something. So now I'm gonna see if the drive shaft moves. Drive shaft is not moving, so I'm going to shift it. What I have here is just a size 9 wrench. To shift it, you always do counterclockwise. Okay, now neutral, it's actually rotating. So what that tells me is that the gears are not locked up. There's a pinion gear at the end of this, then you have your forward gear and your reverse gear. Those are always engaged. Alright, now I'm going to shift it back into forward. And we're back to locked again. So pretty quickly, I can tell you right now the prop shaft is the problem. Okay, so here I actually have, just for visual sake, what's going on down here. So we know that the prop shaft is locked. Every time I shift it into forward gear, basically it spins about that rotation before it locks in to the prop shaft. So the prop shaft is completely locked. And as you can see, there's not a whole lot to stop this. So that raises the question, what exactly is stopping this prop shaft from rotating? You know, it's dynamically, it's really impossible for something to get in here. I guess a gear could potentially break. But when you start looking at the prop shaft, I mean, there's nothing in there that could possibly get hung up. I don't know if you can see that down there, but there's the roller bearings. There's the oil seals, and it just freely spins right there. So I'm gonna have to figure out why this prop shaft is actually locked. Looks like right here, the oil seal somehow is backwards. Yeah, because the oil seals are supposed to look like that, with the rubber part with the metal spring outwards, not the actual stainless part outwards. And you can definitely hear it hitting something. So the correct way to access this would be to get a puller. This is a crown nut. We would have to take off the tab washer, remove the crown nut, which actually looks like this little setup right here. So you have that on the inside, that, release tab washer, and then pull this out, and then you actually have to hook the carrier through here and wrench it out. I don't really have a puller. Let's see, well, not a professional outboard puller, because they're like 500 bucks, but what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to drill, put some screws in here and see if I can't pull this oil seal out without disrupting the prop shaft. Now this is definitely not, I definitely don't suggest doing it this way. If you do it this way, do not, I repeat, do not nick the prop shaft, because this thing is spinning thousands and thousands of RPMs per minute, and any type of nick or scratch in this will eat the rubber seal up very rapidly, and then the oil will get out and then the water will get in. Okay? Alright, so very quickly in diagnosing this, I'm going to diagnose that this is the problem. That something is getting crushed or got crushed into the roller bearings inside the bearing carrier. So we're going to proceed to cautiously drill holes in this so I can put screws into it to pull this straight out. That's the idea. And again, we don't want to put any scratches or nicks into the prop shaft. So it's better to air towards the bearing carrier and scratch that up, because you can always seal that up. That doesn't move, it is stationary. This, on a good day, is supposed to move. It might take a while. You can see that. Yep, that little dot is all I got. Now I got a little pilot hole there for a screw. Now on the other side, I'm going to drill another hole. I'm going to put 2 screws down it and try to pull that straight up. Hole on both sides. I think the bit slipped on me once. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to drill screws in there now and then pull that oil seal straight up. Alright, so I pulled this out. This came out. The spring is not in there. Alright, so just a quick lesson about seals. The way these work, first one goes this way, spring down. The second one goes this way, spring up. So that keeps the water out and the oil in. So what I'm looking at here, the springs were inverted, just like this. Which obviously that's not the way that it's engineered. The spring right there is what keeps the seal tight along the prop shaft. So both of these were inverted. Okay, so I got, let's see here, all the oil out. And there's nothing keeping this prop shaft from rotating. So it looks like I'm gonna have to take the crown nut out to pull the whole bearing carrier out. All right. And the crown nut is removed. Now we just got to pull out the tab washer. And then we're gonna pull the bearing carrier out. All right, so I have a puller attached, which you can see is I just basically just cut a standard chain down, and then I have those little 5/8 hooks around the carrier. So I'm going to attempt to pull this out nice and easy. By nice and easy, I mean rough and quickly. All right, so see what we got here. Quick look at the carrier puller. Custom made. Alright. So we're looking down here. A little bit of rust. Sorry. A little bit of rust on the gears there. But guess what? This is free. Free to turn like it should. Alright, and there's a look. That's your reverse gear, which is pretty fluid. Alright, so now I'm looking at the journal. Right there. It's pretty rough. You can see that. Let me pull it up to the camera. Put a light on it. Yeah. It's just like sandpaper. So that had to be what was causing it. What was causing it? Oh. Looked at the bearing carrier. Trying to get a good angle on it here. The roller bearings are completely shot. Look at that. Oh man, that's rough. Yeah. So the bearing carrier and the prop shaft are pretty much done. So looking at all the extra carriers I have, this one doesn't fit. This one's for the newer, I guess the newer, well I say newer, I mean like the late 70s, early 80s engines that did not have the preloaded pin. The preloaded pin use these, but the gears are kind of backwards. They're not straight like this. So I cannot use that one. And then this one is the right one, but the carrier is cracked in two places. One, two. And this carrier, this prop shaft is completely done. The bearings are completely shot inside in here. They're completely rusted over, completely done. The shaft right here feels like sandpaper, which is should be nice and smooth like that. Now when we get over here, the bearings on the inside of this, there's no rust or anything on them. They actually feel pretty good. They're still rotating freely. So this whole thing is bad. So let me go ahead and I guess get rid of this stuff and get the proper bearing carrier ordered, and then take this prop shaft out of this broken carrier to put into the new carrier. And then I'm going to put everything back together so this can go on a silver block that I have parked outside. Alright you guys, thanks for watching.